Praise Jesus. Victoria once again for Kingdom Therapy. Welcome to our weekly teaching. I hope you're fine and the Lord has kept you safe and sound. You're in good health. You're being provided for. Mokama afuga. Today we are going to deal with a very, very interesting topic. Our topic this week is going to be about a man and a marriage. People in general, but mostly women, have asked themselves this question I'm going to address today. Men too, but for most men, I think they usually know the answer. They just be playing around. But our topic this week is men know who they want to marry. The topic is men know who they want to marry. So the question we are going to address today that is asked oftenly is how come a man can date a woman for, let's say, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years and never marry them? But then I find in the midst of that situationship, he finds a woman and in less than 6 months, they've married them. This is a question that cuts across. It's happened to many people I know. It's happened to, I'm sure, very many women can attest to this, that to some, it's been them who have been the beneficiary. To others, it's been them who are left or who are affected. So the question still comes: how come he married that person in less than a period of let's say 6 months or 1 year, and yet he knew this particular woman for 7 years, 8 years, 5 years, 4 years, and then he never married them. So our topic today is men know who they want to marry. So our biblical answer in regards to this, or in regards to marriage in general, not that I'm an expert, but like I said, we do our weekly research and then address the questions that most of you, or topics that most of you ask me to teach about. So the number one thing we need to know, that God gave man the highest level of spiritual intelligence. God gave man the highest level of spiritual intelligence. And in this phase, when I'm talking about man, I'm not talking about man in general, of man as an animal, inclusive of women. No, I'm talking about man as in the male species or the male gender. God gave them the highest level of spiritual intelligence. He also gave man the power to name things immediately he sees them. He gave man the power to name things immediately when he sees them. So when a man sees something, immediately he names it. Immediately when a man sees something, he names it. So God gave a man these two powers, or these two authorities. We are going to look at the book of Genesis. In the book of Genesis, we are going to dwell so much in Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 3. We are literally going to look at Adam and Eve as our case study and the creation in general, because this is where the distinction of man and woman literally comes from. So a man will know exactly who you are immediately he sees you, because God has given them this kind of authority, or God has given them this kind of spiritual intelligence. When you walk to a man as a woman, the man will know exactly who you are to them. He will know whether you're a girlfriend for a short time. He will know whether you're a woman he's just going to have fun with. He will know whether he wants to marry you before he even knows your married material. Somehow, because he has spiritual intelligence, he will know that he wants to wife you. He will know whether you're simply going to be a mother to his kids, or he simply wants your physical attributes for his children and not married. A man will know this immediately you're in his presence. Immediately you're in his presence, he will have, I don't know whether it's intuition, but the Bible has called it a spiritual intelligence. So he will automatically know his intentions with you the first interaction he has with you. When a man has an interaction with you, he will know exactly who he wants you to be in his life. So whether he sees you as wife, whether he simply sees you as someone he's going to sleep with, whether he sees you as someone he's going to have fun with or to pass time with, whether he sees you as someone he's going to, they have this thing they say, I'm buying time. But in the meantime, as he's buying time, you're there, you're available, as he's looking for the perfect partner. So a man will know, and he will categorize you immediately. He sees you when he sees you, he will categorize you, because he has been given the spiritual intelligence to name things immediately he sees them. Let us read a Bible verse to back this up. Let us go in the book of Genesis. Genesis 2, let us begin from Genesis chapter 2. Let us begin from verse 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. Out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam called each living creature, that was its name. And whatever Adam called each living creature, that was its name. So Adam gave names to all cattle, to all birds of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper comparable to him. Let us end here for some time. We've noticed that God created things, and then God brought Adam to name those things. God did not even incite or give an idea to Adam on how to name those things, but whatever Adam saw, he named, from the beasts of the earth, to the birds of the air, to cattle, to ox, for everything he saw, he had a name for it. So, but in all these things, he didn't see a suitable helper. But this is where we derive our topic. Men or Adam knew what to call every animal when he saw it. So this is the spiritual intelligence we are talking about. The moment a man sees you, he names you. The moment a man sees you, he names you. He will name you what he wants you to be. So when a man sees you and interacts with you, immediately he will know whether he desires you for wife. He will know whether he desires you for company just. He will know whether he desires you as a baby mama, someone who has attributes for his children. He will know exactly what he wants with you immediately he sees you. So unlike women who are easily deceived. Women, we are easily deceived. It's not very easy to deceive a man. Still, I am going to bring a biblical backing that women by nature can easily be deceived. Women by nature, our emotions can easily be manipulated, and by this, men have manipulated women's emotions, and they've strung them along, because it's easy to deceive a woman, but it is very, very hard to deceive a man emotionally. He will know what he wants immediately. So and because of this, he has a spiritual integrity. For example, let us look at the serpent and the woman. Still, let us go to the book of Genesis, but now we are going to read chapter 3 and from verse 1 to 7. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you'll be like God, knowing good and evil. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. So this is how I want to show you how easily a woman can be deceived. For example, here is Eve. They have a provider. They have a provider who is God. He has literally given them everything. Everything. They have food, they have where to sleep, they have land to till, they have every beautiful thing of the land, they have cattle to milk, they literally have everything they desire. But then God says, there's this one tree you should not touch, because when you touch, you shall die. Can you imagine? God even told them, when you touch, you shall die, or when you eat of that tree, you shall die. But this is how woman's spiritual intelligence is a bit lower than man's, or this is how emotional women are. This is how easily deceived a woman is. You know, someone has told you, when you eat that, you are going to die. But then someone comes and convinces you. In this case, Satan comes and convinces Eve that when you eat of this fruit, no, you are going to be intelligent. You will know the difference between right and wrong, and actually you're not going to die. It's amazing how a woman can trust someone they don't know. You know, they've been with this provider for this whole time, and the provider tells them, if you touch this, you're going to die. But a woman is willing to risk it all to try something else. A woman is even willing to risk their life, because remember, God had said, if you touch it, you may die. She's willing to risk her life to try out something else, to try out a lie. You know, high emotion has been played on, because someone has mentioned, you're going to get this, you're going to get this. Like literally, someone has, like literally, the serpent deceived, you're going to get this and this and this. So she did not even care about what she had been told before. All she cared about was now these promises that were being made to her. So you see how emotional women be. Like they can know something. A woman can know something. A woman can know that this man is wrong for me. A woman can know that she can see all the signs, and then she's like, it's been 1 year with this guy, there's nothing. It's been 2 years with this guy, there's nothing. It's been 3 years with this guy, and she can't even count the years. It's been 4 years, nothing is happening. This guy is lying, this guy is this. But do you know, for every new lie she's told, she's going to stay, because she can easily be deceived, and she can easily be emotionally manipulated, just like we see our mother Eve was manipulated. But this is not the same thing with man. Man cannot be emotionally manipulated. When he sees something, he knows it. So it does not matter what you do. It does not matter what you do for man. You're not going to manipulate what he feels or what he wants. It does not matter. If, I'll give an example. Fish cannot become cow to a man. It cannot. If he sees A as A, his A will be A. It will not become B just because. So by whether you're cooking, whether you're somersaulting, whether you're beautiful, as long as from the very first time he saw you, he named you something different, he will never change his mind for you to be wife. He will never change his mind for you to be wife, because there's no amount of emotional intelligence, there's no amount of emotions you're going to draw out of him. So you see, a man cannot be manipulated. When we go back to Adam, there were so many animals. There were so many birds of the air. There were so many beasts. But he was never confused one day about every animal. There is no animal that has the same name as the other. He named each of them differently. Whichever animal he saw, he did not confuse them with another. There are animals that actually, they're animals or birds or beasts of the sea that look almost the same, but you will notice they have totally different names. So he was never at any one time confused when naming, unlike woman who was easily swayed and shifted because of emotional manipulation. Now, still when we go into the book of Genesis, like I said, it's going to be our case study. We see man. The moment the moment woman was created out of man's rib, when Adam saw Eve, do you know what Adam said? He said, "Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I shall call her woman." So this takes you back to the naming issue. When Adam saw Eve, he immediately knew that this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. And he did not name Eve as other beasts. He called Eve my own, and he called Eve woman from man, meaning that she has come from me. So literally, man knows who you are immediately he sees you. He knows who you are. He knows your purpose in his life. He knows why you're in his life. He knows why he has brought you close. He knows it all. So let us go into the book of Genesis. Let us read chapter 2, this time verse 21 to, let's say, 23 or 24. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. Then the rib which the Lord God had taken from man, he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called a woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." So we see Adam did not confuse woman to be another beast, to be another bird in the air, to be another anything. He immediately knew, this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Mark you, he had been asleep when they were creating woman. So he just opened his eyes, and immediately when he saw Eve, he was like, woman. So man is able to name you immediately he sees you, immediately he interacts with you, immediately he exchanges time with you. He will know who you are. Therefore, men know whether you're their wife or not. The moment he gives you his time, the moment he interacts with you, the moment, he exchanges a few ideas with you, his conviction or his intelligence will tell him, this person can be your wife, this person can be a mother to your kids, this person can be this in your life. So the problem is usually us, the women. We've ascertained, we've noticed from our mother Eve that the problem is usually us, the women, because women feel and think that man can be manipulated. They feel and think that man can just like their emotions are swayed into something different. They think man can be pleased. If a woman feels, I can act my way up to her heart, I can act my way up to his heart. Yes, you may act your way up to his pockets. You might act your way into to trips with him. You might act your way into so many beautiful things that you might get out of him, but you will not act your way into him wifing you, because immediately he saw you, he knew he knew who you were. He knew for a what, it is very funny. When you sit and talk to men, most men will tell you, when I saw her, I knew she was my wife. Like when I spoke to her, I knew I knew she can be my wife. Leave alone scenarios where God refuses a person because God sees the future. Leave alone a scenario where God refuses a person and says, because of this and this, you're not going to wife this person. But at least that man would have known, I can make this person a wife. So for men who string women along, it's never about finances. Let me tell you something about men. Men can get the finances for whatever they need. If a man can get finances, collect money to buy himself a car, if a man can collect money to take himself to take you for a trip, how much money does he need to wife you? How much money does he need, to officiate you? So do not buy into this hula baloo of there's no money, there's no money, there's no this, I am still doing this, I am still constructing, I am still doing this, and it's all a lie. If a man is stringing you along 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, probably, unless there's a very sound reason, probably you're not on the same page with them. You think you're wife to him, and he literally sees as something differently. So whether you cook for him, whether you clean for him, whether you sleep with him, whether you have children with him, he will still not wife you. Why? Because he knows who you are. He named you immediately. He saw you. So it's only us who are going to be deceived. And you see, this has created so many broken hearts, because with us women, we think we are supposed to do so much to please the men into marrying us. You believe you're supposed to do this and this and this. Weren't we called to be virtuous wives? So because the Bible talks about a virtuous wife, you've started giving all the characters of a virtuous woman before you're even married. You're already treating this man as a husband even before he has paid a price for it. So is there a man who is going to refuse benefits? Would you refuse benefits? Is there a man who is going to refuse free benefits? So if you're offering him all the free benefits, or if you're offering him everything for free without hassle, he's simply going to take it along. He will pay for it. Men don't have a problem with money. He'll pay for it. He will either pay for it with trips, he'll pay for it with rent, he'll pay for it with gifts, he'll pay for it with even cars. But the one thing you need as a woman, he will not give you, because they value that. They value the covenant. They know what exactly they saw when they met you. So the one thing you need and you're looking for is what he is not even going to offer you. He will offer you everything else apart from that one thing that you need. So like we've said, it's you, the woman, who is going to be confused in these in these long-term relationships. It's never ever the man who is confused in these long-term relationships. These long-term relationships that do not materialize, it's never the man confused. It's always the woman. It's actually, it's the women who keep going to churches. It's the women who keep asking pastors, is he my wife? Is he my husband? You'll see a woman who has been with a man for 10 years, but she's still asking, is this man my husband? Some of them even have kids with a person, and then they're asking, they're asking their prophet, is this man my husband? So it's always the woman who is confused. It's you who is going to be confused because you act from an emotional point of view. It's you who is going to be confused whether that man is your husband. It's you who is going to be confused because you feel you've put in so much. And remember, like I said, the man is not going to refuse the support. The man is not going to refuse the benefits. The man is not, going to refuse anything that makes life easy for him. So him knowing that you're not his wife, he's not going. Some of them feel a little guilty. So what will happen is they will make life comfortable for you. They'll be like, let me make life comfortable. Some buy you cars, some pay the rent. But at the back of their minds, they're simply waiting to find their right person. And in that time, they may even have kids with you. That's why we have a very high rising number of single mothers. Not only for this reason, for so many reasons, but this is one of them. It's because at a certain point in life, a woman feels, I've done it all. I've been with this man 3-4 years. I've done it all. He's not, he's not committing. Let me have child with him. Let me have a child with him. To some women, the children did not come by mistake. They were trying to make a trap. But do you see what actually happens even? You will have a child with him. He will try for a few years or a few months to act like a husband. And you know what happens? When that woman he feels, he names wife immediately, he interacts with, comes, you will be dropped for that particular woman. So women, do not put yourself in that situation. Do not give a man wifely benefits. Do not bring out the virtuous woman to a man who is not your husband, because the Bible calls that virtuous woman a wife. And wife means there is a covenant that has happened. So stop doing all these beautiful things for men who are not yet your husbands, who have not done any commitment or any covenant with you. You're giving them children, and at the end of the day, it's you who are disappointed. So let us you'll find that it's the woman who keeps praying, fasting, Father Lord, is he the man for me? Father Lord, let him marry me. Father Lord, it's never the man confused. It's you who is confused. And you see what happens is many end up quitting. That's why we have relationships that have lasted 8 years, 7 years, 5 years, and then in the end you're like, you people never got married to each other after all those years. And then you'll find that the woman got married to someone else and the man also got married to someone else. And you're like, what happened in all those 8 years? And to some, the relationships were even beautiful things. Like they were a beautiful thing. They were a happy couple. But the man already knew that you were not his wife. Just because he took you around, just because you went tripping, just because he bought you a car, just because just because he put you in his house, just because you had a child for him, none of those equate to wife. So do not be confused, dear woman. Do not be in a long-term relationship that is undefined. Ask that man to define who you are in his life, because I assure you, he knows who you are to him. And some of these things, I don't even think it should be our duty as a woman to ask a man, who am I to you? Of course, manye to be caller. Of course, it's that sad. I know we do these things, that we sit down and ask men, because you see the relationship is not shifting into the direction you want it. You've eaten the parties, you've eaten the outings, you've done the trips, cars have been bought for you, houses have been bought for you. For some of you, rent is being paid for you, but then you want a relationship so bad to go to the next level, and it's not going to the next level. And you begin asking this man to help you define this relationship. Then you begin asking the man, you begin like cornering him, giving him ultimatums. Why would a woman get to a point of giving a man an ultimatum? I'm telling you, every time you see yourself giving a man an ultimatum, if you don't marry me, I'm going to walk out this year. Who am I to you? If any time you ask a man those questions, just know you're in a wrong relationship. If you're there and you're in a relationship and you do not understand it, like you feel this relationship is not clearly defined for you as a woman, you ask him more. Of course, some of them will lie. Some of them will be like, you're my wife, you're what? But as a woman, you should be able to see. You should be able, ask God for spiritual maturity. Ask God for discernment to see this relationship I've been in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. The benefits are all given. To some point, there is even nothing new you can do for this man. He's seen all the sex styles. You were young when he met you. You were fresh. And now, let's say you were 23 when he met you, and now you're 30 or you're 35, you're still with him. There's no defined relationship. Probably you've even had kids for him. My dear, that is already a red flag. He knows. I'm not saying that all of you walk out of your relationships. No, I'm saying some of you are in relationships that are defined. Probably this person is my husband. We are building this and this, but probably marriage has not yet come because of this and this and this particular reason. If you have a clear-cut reason and it works for you, and you know that this man is going to commit at some point, but he's just not committing now because of a few nitty-gritties, probably he's still getting it. Whatever your issue is, I am not talking about you. I'm talking about women who don't have a defined relationship. And when they lie in those beds, they keep asking God, is this my husband? They keep asking this man, please define this relationship for me. They keep walking out and then coming back in this relationship. No, I am telling you, if you're feeling it, if your spirit is feeling it, then it is what you're feeling. So, dear women, today I want you to know that a man cannot be deceived. And he is going to waste your time because you've allowed him to waste your time. Learn your boundaries. Learn your boundaries. Know what you want as a person. Some of us are giving you this advice not because we've had it easy, but it's because we've been there. I can authoritatively give advice to young ladies because I have been there. So no, do not allow a person to waste your time in an undefined relationship. Learn to have your boundaries. Know what you want. What is it that you want in this relationship? Immediately you walk into a relationship, except you also want to waste time. Because there are people who are still young and they're like, I want the fun, I want the cars, I want the trips. Except that's your goal. But if it's not your goal and your goal is to settle down with this person, don't be in an undefined relationship. Know what know what you want. Do not do wife duties for a man who has not paid the price. Do not do wife duties for a man who has not made a marital covenant with you. Do not make life easy for any man to enjoy husband benefits without paying the price. Don't have children for this man. Banangi. Don't have children for this man. So without a wife title, do not have children for this man without a wife title. So don't move in with him without a wife title. Do not move in with this man. Women, I'm serious. Do not move in with this man, because the moment you move in with this man without a wife title, you are already compromised. It is you who is going to want so bad for that relationship to be defined other than him, because he already has the benefits. Why? For you, if someone comes and gives you a cow and you're milking without paying for the cow, and then the person comes and says, pay me, will you pay them for the milk you already drank? We all know it. If you already use them, if you already use something, it is very hard to pay for it. Some have been lucky, but to most, they've not been lucky. So I'm not speaking for everyone, but for, the bigger percentage. Some have been lucky, but some have been unlucky. So do not put yourself in that situation. Do not move in with a man who has not wifed with you. Do not, it's today I didn't come to talk about dating. It's okay to date a person. It's okay to do the back and forth, see them a few times, visit them to see how stuff is done, how he handles his house, how he handles his finances. That's different, and that's a whole topic altogether. I'm talking about women who move in with men. You start having children with them, and they've not even, they've not paid the price. So don't make it easy for him. Don't allow that man to have husband privileges. Except, my dear, he has paid the price. Because you are going to be confused. Because you're going to cry to God. Because you may move from one relationship to another. And the same mistakes you did in another relationships, the same mistakes you will do in another relationship. You're going to cry to God. You'll begin asking God questions like, is he my man? Is he my husband? God, please answer. But you see what is going to happen? There's going to be more time wasted, there's going to be more tears, and there's going to be more heartbreaks, because first and foremost, God is not in that confusion of yours. He's not in that confusion of yours. Because even if God said that this is your man, even if you felt it, you dreamt it, you had it, they prophesied it that this person is your husband, and then you went ahead and took steps and started doing wifely duties before he made you a wife. God is not in that scenario. Mukama tabeera mu buvuyo, Mukama tabeera mu bwenzi, Mukama tabeera mu ebintu. So you're going to cry tears, you're going to have heartbreaks, you're going to have wasted years, and what is going to happen is you'll keep coming back to God, and God will tell you the problem comes from here. The problem comes from here. You did something that I did not send you to do. So my ladies, men know who they want to marry. Men define you the moment they see you. Do not be deceived. I hope this has benefited someone, and I am not speaking this from the righteousness, almighty and power point of view. No, I am speaking this from experience, and I'm speaking this from experiences around me, and I am speaking this from the biblical point of view. Ciao.